Welcome to the Ian Beckles Show. This is the Ian Beckles Show, from the field to the mic. Yeah, you already know, no spin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ian Beckles Show. We want to show love to Manny and Gordon. Go to fightnegligence.com. They help us pay the bills. The Ian Beckles Show is going to keep on going. We talk a lot about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who obviously are eliminated from the playoffs. But we're going to continue to go because life goes on and sports goes on. And for sure, football goes on. And we're not only going to talk football on the Ian Beckles Show, we're going to talk about a little everything. So for those of you that enjoyed last weekend of football, I did. As you can see, I'm wearing my Indiana gear. I am an Indiana alum. My Hoosiers are good. We'll get to that, okay? But first, let's talk about our Buccaneers. Our Buccaneers, who won the last game against the Panthers, didn't make the playoffs, probably didn't deserve to make the playoffs. That being said, watching those games yesterday, boy, every team that was in had a chance, just about, except for the Chargers didn't look so great, obviously. But everybody else that was in that game, in that playoffs, had a chance yesterday and also on Saturday as well. Looking back to Saturday's games, the Rams beating the Panthers. Now, the Panthers getting in for winning the South. You're gonna say, well, the Panthers shouldn't be in, and the Bucs the Bucs didn't deserve to get in. The Panthers were pretty damn close to beating the Rams, yo. They were fighting the Rams, and the Panthers beat the Rams during the season, and they were pretty darn close to beating the Rams yesterday. So you never know. And there was a 10.5 point spread. That's a big number. I put money on the Panthers, no doubt. That's a big spread in the playoffs. It's disrespectful to give anybody 10.5 points. Now, I understand how it works, but that's a lot of points to give anybody. I thought the Panthers did things well enough for me to put money on them, at least to keep it within 10.5, and they got that done. Now, the other game on Saturday was the Packers and the Bears. Obviously, the Caleb Williams era has started. A lot of people want to give too much or too little at times, credit to the quarterback, usually too much. First of all, this is great for this young kid, okay? I wasn't the one saying that he was going to be a success out of college. The quarterback position is a weird position because you could have success and not be overly successful. If Caleb didn't have what he has around him, and I'm not dogging what he's doing because he's doing some good things, but he's winning because of what's around him. And that's what I try to say about Baker Mayfield. It's what I try to say about Sam Darnold. That's what I try to say about any of these guys who all of a sudden have a resurgence and are playing good football. Look at what's happening around them. Look at Baker Mayfield this year. When we were saying Baker Mayfield was the MVP. Look what was happening around him. They were playing well around him. And then all of a sudden, nobody was playing well around him. And what did Baker look like? Pedestrian. So, it was good to see. I got a lot of friends that are Chicago Bear fans, and Ray Lampe and Dr. Barbecue. And I know he's a huge fan, and it's just good to see those people happy. Because Ray hasn't been happy in a while. The Bears haven't been up there in a while, and it's good to see them back in the mix. And, hopefully they're around for a while. And it seemed like it was kind of the changing of the guards kind of a thing. All we remember is Aaron Rodgers pretty much dissing the whole city of Chicago every time he went there. So, that's it's a good thing for Chicago, so congratulations to them. So then, yesterday's games, the Bills figure out a way to beat Jacksonville. And listen, Sunshine looks like he's on the way, okay? Don't know if he's there yet, but he's on the way, okay? That all these young quarterbacks that we think they're terrible, then about their fourth or fifth year, all of a sudden they look like they can play. That's not a coincidence. A lot of times when you're a lower draft pick and you get thrown in a game, and you poop on yourself. You have 2-3 games and you're out, and you're out forever. You know, when you're a first pick in the draft, you're going to get 2-3 years, 4 years. Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, okay? You know, our boy from Jacksonville, Sunshine, he's finally coming into his own. Finally. It took a while. They're ready to put him on the trash heap not too long ago. But he looks like he can play. But they figured out Buffalo. I said at the beginning of this playoffs, Buffalo's going to figure out a way to win their first Super Bowl. Watch. It's just because nobody really expects it. You could go back to every year, you know, Allen's been there in the last 6 years or so. Everybody's like, Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. And I want to hear a lot of Buffalo this year. Watch him sneak through the back door. Watch. That's who's going to be my pick. And then last night, the Niners beat the Eagles as well. The Eagles, I put money on the Niners as well, getting points. And I was like, well, if you asked me who was going to win, I would have said Niners. And the Niners were getting points. So I put money on the Niners. And the Eagles just don't look good to me, ever. I don't know why. Even when they win, they don't look happy. They don't look like they like their coach. They're missing something. I don't know if it's something from up top. I've been part of that organization. Didn't like the way it felt up top. It's still the same feel. It still don't look right. They've won Super Bowls with this bad feel, and here they are. And, you know, you got Harbaugh out there sitting, waiting to see what kind of openings are going on. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. Todd Bowles is sticking around. He got rid of most of his coaches. And I got to tip it to Jason Light and the Glazers. They know what they're doing business-wise. We're not behind closed doors. Harbaugh was out there. Everybody's right away want to fire Bowles. Well, fire Bowles and bring Harbaugh. We don't know Harbaugh wants to come here. And if you fire Bowles and Harbaugh still has all these different teams to pick from, Buffalo might have been out there. You know, things happen every year. Weird firings happen every year. And you know what Harbaugh wants? He wants to inherit a good football team. You don't want to inherit a shitty football team. Now, nobody wants that. You know what would be nice to inherit? Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. That'd be nice to inherit, right? It doesn't usually work that way. And then last night, New England beat the Chargers. And I don't know when it's going to start, but when do we start questioning Justin Herbert? I really don't ever hear anybody questioning Justin Herbert. What has he done? What has Justin Herbert ever done? I hear people eviscerating Jalen Hurts. I hear people eviscerating Lamar, eviscerating him. I never hear anybody say anything about Justin Hurts. Herbert, never. What has he done? Scored 3 points yesterday. And New England has a good defense, but you scored 3 points in the playoffs? No, I just don't know. Now, let's get to my Indiana Hoosiers, as I'm representing them quite proudly. My Indiana Hoosiers played against Oregon, beat them 56-22, but the game was not that close. Indiana Hoosiers are good. And I'm not a homer. I've been called lots of things. Homer ain't one of them because I'm just not that. I'm probably leaning towards more the pessimistic side than the optimistic side. So I've watched just about every game Indiana's played this year. And I know a lot of people are watching them now and saying, boy, Indiana's good. But I've been watching Indiana all year, all right? Whether it was beating Oregon in Oregon or beating Iowa in Iowa or beating Ohio State or whatever it may be, I watched it all. And it's a complete football team. And Cignetti right now is the best coach in football. So my boy Warren Sapp, the second that Indiana won, and I knew they'd be playing Miami, I hit Sapp up, and he said he's going to be hosting a bunch of parties, and I'm hoping to get to Miami. We'll see if it happens or not. But I think they're 7.5-point favorites. So other people out there are thinking that they're supposed 7.5 is a big number. That is a big number in any level of football. So going on paper, Indiana's better. But if you've watched football like we did last weekend, it don't matter on paper. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Because, on paper, I'm not sure the Panthers measure up with the Rams, but they had every chance to win that game. Jaguars had every chance to beat the Bills, and so on and so on. On paper, I don't know if anybody's better than the Eagles, and they're out. So, I don't like to brag early. I'm confident. I feel good. Well, I don't like to brag and talk a lot of junk. But I'll be watching it, and I don't know if I've ever been through a ride that I've enjoyed this much. Even when the Bucs won the Super Bowl, it's not quite the same as when your team's in a national championship, because a lot of teams go forever that don't get a chance to play in it, and here my Hoosiers are. So let's hope next week when we're talking, we're doing this show, maybe we'll be doing from Miami. You never know. You never know. Anyways, if anybody ever wants to hit me up, it's Ian Beckles Show on Instagram. That's what I use for the most part. And hit a like and all the describe and all the different things you're supposed to do and subscribe and stuff like that. I'm not into all that stuff. But we're going to be putting out shows a little bit more often, talking about a lot of different things. So make sure to tune in and tell your people about it as well and share it in the whole 9 yards. I appreciate you tuning in. It's been the Ian Beckles Show. Have a great day. Peace out.
Some lawyers want to look like superheroes on a billboard, but which lawyers are regarded as superheroes in the courtroom? Trust the expertise of board certification.
Call Manny and Gordon or visit us at fightnegligence.com.